they're motivating each other to play better and win tournaments. And this is something. This is a friendly, really good friendly competition between those two guys.
Absolutely. So we're into the game here, and we're going to see the handlock of Misetings on the top versus the Paladin of Thijs on the bottom. And Shielded Minibot coming into hand for the start there for Thijs. That's always a good opening. But a Mountain Giant in the hand for Misetings.
So Black Knight is very important in this matchup, but so is equality. So I bet that Thijs will will like to get that equality as soon as possible. He's saving the coin, so he's not playing the initiated bot on the in the first turn.
Yep,
It's not
so
a yes, please.
the Molten Giant coming into hand, starting to life tap and build up that the mana cost going down on the Mountain Giant, and the Shielded Minibot coming out on turn 2 with a even a Cog Hammer if you wanted to use it on turn 3. But lots of options for Thijs to start to build up a board here. But Misetings drawing kind of exactly what he needs at this point is the handlock.
Yeah, definitely. This is a really bad turn for Thijs here. He has no way of dealing with that giant, so he will have to coin out the Belcher on turn 4 and maybe count, maybe just count off on Misetings taunting up his giant next turn. So that doesn't really make any sense. Sorry, but you will kill the giant eventually before you will get to turn 6. But still, this will take a lot of resources to kill the giant.
Yeah, definitely. It's not going to be easy for Thijs to deal with the giant here. As I say, he doesn't have the equality. What does he? Does he go with the Cog Hammer here just to put up a taunt and slow the giant down?
Well, you can hero power, so put a dude on the board and then cog hammer first to get a 50-50 taunt on the shielded minibot. So we'll attack first exactly on to the giant, and the 50-50 goes well for Thijs. So now probably he will coin out the hero power.
Yep, getting the taunt from the Cog Hammer.
Yeah. Oh, he didn't. Okay, so he wants to save that coin for the Black Knight for the next turn. If Misetings will.
And this feels like a likely Sludge Belcher turn here from Misetings in the turn 5 slot. But it's going to be really frustrating for him that you can't get through this Shielded Minibot. Does he even consider maybe a silence on it?
Well, you want to keep the silence for a Tyrion and Sylvanas. Those are the cards you want to get with the silence. But now the question is will Thijs use his Black Knight for the Belcher? He knows there will be so many targets for the Black Knight later on.
But it looks like it's going to happen.
Yes. No, the Black Knight.
Yep. Black Knight coming down on the Sludge Belcher, and he's going to be able to clear the slime as well.
With the weapon.
Yeah, I was going to say, I assume with the weapon, and then leave that taunt. The Shielded Minibot has done 4 damage to the Mountain Giant here without taking any damage itself.
Crazy.
Shielded Minibot MVP standing up to the Mountain Giant. Oh, okay. Yeah, so he looked like he was going to trade with the Shielded Minibot there. Use the Shielded Minibot to clear the slime, but that would have been.
You don't really want to do that because then the Minibot will be at 1 point of health and easily be within range of Immortal Coil.
Absolutely. Now Thijs has to be very careful of Molten Giants here. One is in the hand, and if he does 1 damage next turn, in fact. Life Tap wouldn't get him down low enough to be able to play the Molten Giant, unfortunately. But there is a Sylvanas in hand. There's another Sludge Belcher. There's taunts. But there is no way of getting through the Shielded Minibot unless you want to sacrifice a silence on it, which that doesn't feel like a useful play at all. The only way to get through it would be to Hellfire.
Hellfire? Yeah, that doesn't feel right. Oh,
he's going
for it. Wow.
I guess he's just really desperate to get this. Okay, he's thinking better of it. Oh no!
Oh no!
Is it coming? Is it? He's doing it!
So
He's
will he
really
trade?
desperate.
He's trading. Oh wow!
Wow, I thought he would have just gone to face there and force the paladin to trade.
And he draw last. Well, interesting order of events. And now Thijs will want to probably save that masterful, or maybe not. Maybe just play the masterful battle now. You go face for 2. No, you can't go face for 2 points of damage. You have to think about the molten giants. So
Yeah.
probably Thijs might even play Sylvanas this turn.
He's gonna go for the muster for battle, and if he puts damage in on face here, he's gonna get wrecked by a molten giant.
So yeah, probably the masterful battle will be a better option here. The problem with the zombie chow is that it will be actually helping the handlock at some point of the game if there will be a AOE effect, but there's in my settings hand.
He doesn't have another Hellfire, so that's pretty much all of it. He does have 2 Dark Bombs in this handlock deck.
Mm-hmm. Well, there was 2 Shadow Flames, right? In the deck.
Yep, 2 Shadow Flames, 2 Dark Bombs, single Siphon Soul, single Mortal Coil that we can already see in hand there.
Oh, single Mortal Coil. Interesting.
Yep, the Mortal Coil there.
So now, in this, what do you do in this situation? Well, you have to play the Molten Giant, that's for sure. And you already saw the Black Knight, so you're not really being, you're not fearing the Black Knight anymore. But still, you just left 4 recruits, which will mean that the Quartermaster will add 8 points of attack to the board. It's like a Savage Roar, almost.
Yeah, but
almost
how does
like
he?
a Savage Roar.
How does he use that to push through these taunts, though?
Well, you don't have a silence, so I think you just play the Quartermaster and trade.
He's thinking over his lines of play here. Doesn't really have a huge, I don't think, unless he wants to just throw up a Sludge Belcher and try and wait, but wait on a silence or BGH. In fact, there isn't a BGH in the Paladin deck of Thijs for him to wait for.
What are the other options? You can drop the Belcher, and as I said, that zombie chow feels really awkward now. After the one Molten Giant was played, and it now a little. Oh, is he having problems with the connection?
Yeah, we just said it looks like he might have actually disconnected here because he is roping all the way out.
Oh no, that's unfortunate.
That is very unfortunate indeed. We'll see if we can get the connection back with Thijs.
Well, this is way beyond repair anyway, at this point of the game.
You think the handlock's pretty assured at this point?
Most likely. Now he still didn't draw any kind of AoE effect. We'll have to see what's going on next, and maybe Thijs will be back and somehow will win this game. We'll see.
It would be a big recovery if Thijs was able to come back from disconnecting and missing a turn there against the handlock. Ragnar was coming into hand for the handlock.
Yep. Excuse me for a second, guys. I will call Thijs.
Yeah, so Lothar's just going to pop off screen and see if we can figure out what's going on with Thijs here. But Thijs is actually going to rope down a second turn here. It may well be that... Oh, no. We see... oh, that's possible. That's a spectator mode client looking at the cards. But we can't see Thijs doing anything, unfortunately. So it looks like Tyz is probably at a disconnect and is going to have to forfeit this game, it looks like. Lothar's just going to step away and figure out what's going on there. But, okay, so he does appear to... Oh, he does appear to have come back, but I think... So Jirax is coming down here, and that is game anyway, if Tyz was able to come back. But so that game's going to go down to my settings. Obviously a bit unfortunate there with Tyz disconnecting. But as Lothar said, it did look like it was going to be probably a victory for the handlock as we look at Lothar's picture. So we're going to go ahead and see if we can get Tyz back and then go into game number 2. I believe he possibly is just having some connection issues. I don't know if we have any update on whether or not he's going to be able to play the next game. Okay, so we're just going to go to a quick break. We're going to sort out what's going on with Ty's technical issues. Obviously, that is 1-0 to my settings in this series. I believe we'll probably stick with that and move into the second game. Hopefully, we'll get Ty's back for that. But don't go anywhere. We're going to take a very short break while we sort this technical issue.
Stop building these walls of concrete. We've got the world at our feet. Don't let go, we're strong. Nothing will ever make us strong. 'Cause I know that we are forever and ever. When it's you and I, we will make it our night. When it's you and I, we will make it our night. You and I.
Mute. All right, so we're back here. Sorry about that. We're just resolving that small technical issues. Tyz has come back, and Tyz, being good sport, obviously, has said that he is okay with us awarding the first game win to my settings there. But like you said, Lothar, the handlock was pretty assured of victory with all the tools that it had in hand. So the handlock is going to go up 1-0. The paladin of Ty is going to be eliminated, and he has the warrior and the druid to answer the handlock. Which of these options do you think is best for Ty's?
Against the handlock, I think the druid. I think the druid will be the best option if Thijs is playing double combo. That's for sure.
I believe it is a double combo druid, but we will see it coming out very quickly. If it, as you say, is going to pick into the druid, but so we have got the connection back for you. We're going to get into that game as quickly as possible, which will be the handlock of my settings against the druid or the warrior of Thijs. His team captain's telling me to pick druid, so of course he Bernard doesn't want to go against that because that could be trouble. But and in fact he has taken your advice, Lothar, a smart player listening to his team captain.
Yeah, for sure.
and an innervate coming into hand.
He knows better.
Knows better than to go against his team captain. And a Twilight Drake in hand there for my settings is a... Oh, he also mulligan the Twilight Drake. That's interesting.
What?
I mean, I assume the spectator mode was showing us the right thing, and I think my settings just mulliganed away a Twilight Drake.
Okay.
That's it's a choice, I guess. It's going to be an innovated piloted shredder here for Thijs.
Really
turn 2.
Awesome curve. Then turn 3, Shade of Nexus, and probably another 4-drop will be drawn anyway.
So so he needs to draw into another 4-drop to get his curve better. But a Dark Bomb coming out. That's going to be useful.
there's the keeper for the Twilight Drake that was mulliganed away.
That's true.
Still, it would be better just to get that Twilight Drake being silenced on turn 4 than on turn 6, because then the droid is being able to kill it off with the hero power, and that's something that you don't want to do, don't want to see as a Warlock player.
Yeah, I really can't understand the mulliganing away of the Twilight Drake there. That really made no sense. He didn't draw into anything that he needed, and he still hasn't drawn into a Mountain Giant or a Twilight Drake or anything like that. Very questionable play from my settings there, who it appears is taking a little while over this turn. I'm hoping we have had our connection issues resolved, and it's not. Yep, it looks like we're still back. So just going to be a life tap, and he's going to coin out a Sun Fury Protector more than likely. Oh no, he's gonna Dark Bomb the Piloted Shredder.
Well, does he have a Hellfire there? Not really, right?
No, he has a Shadow Flame, but it's the anodized Robo Cub coming down. It is the right class for that, so that's good.
Well, he has the second Dark Bomb, so he'll probably use it on the remains of the Shredder, but this will feel so bad for my settings, like using 2 Dark Bombs on one creature in 2 turns.
Well, he's going to be having to make use of those Dark Bombs to keep himself solid on board. But as I say, you know, the mulliganing away of that Twilight Drake could be something he lives to regret. He's going to life tap again. He's already down 17 and gets a Molten Giant. That's going to be crucial in the coming turns, but second Dart Bomb comes out.
He's in a really, really bad spot right now.
Sure, Tyz definitely.
Yeah, I think Tyz can even attack with that Shade of Extremis right now. Well, this is exactly what I wanted to say, what I was saying before. Now he drew the Twilight Drake, but using that in turn 5, when there's turn 6 from 6 mana from Druid, and he can just silence the Drake and kill it off with hero power.
Yeah, that's not what you want at all. That's Twilight Drake is going to bite the dust now. If he kept it, he would have been able to play it on turn 4, and it still would have got silenced, but it would have been able to do a little bit more use. Yeah. So it's probably going to be a Keep of the Grove.
Tyz is almost lethal also.
Yeah, very true, very true.
If he draws into Savage Roar, that's lethal next turn.
Yeah, it is, but he has lethal with the combo.
No, combo no, with the Druid of the Claw Charge.
Oh, sure, yeah.
But he didn't draw it, so...
It's not turn 7, yeah.
Yeah. He can go for a 50-50 lethal, but the Ragnaros will not kill the Twilight Drake.
I was just going to say that. You could innovate out the Ragnaros here if he really wanted to, but I think that's probably a little bit of a riskier play than Tyz wants to go for. And he's just going to stick with what you said, doing the Keeper of the Grove hero power on the Twilight Drake.
But will he go face with 9 points of damage?
I'm not sure. How afraid are you of Molten Giants?
Well, my settings didn't play really any cards, so I think it was a good decision from Tyz, basing on what was being played from my settings, that just not to go face.
Well, we could see another Twilight Drake come out here with a taunt, and that would be a little bit more difficult for Tyz to get through.
I wonder.
So it's going to be the second Twilight Drake.
Mm-hmm.
And as I said, it's going to be taunted up, so it's going to be a 10 health taunter. 1 attack off an Ancient of War there. But Tyz can deal with it here. In fact, I mean, well, how do you feel about even using Force of Nature to clear it out here?
I don't think you want to do this, but on the other hand, you're fearing a giant with Shadow Flame because he has 3, 6, 8 cards in his hand. So if we know that by setting doesn't have the Shadow Flame and the Mountain Giant, but if he has one part of the combo and he will draw the second one, then Thijs will lose the whole board. So playing the Ancient of Lore feels really risky. Unless he will trade for the Twilight Drake.
He gets a
That
swipe into
swipe,
hand.
the swipe will be crucial for finishing off the game. So okay, so he's trading for the Twilight Drake. Does he deal 2 points of damage? I think he do.
Okay. A second Molten Giant comes into hand, but he's only going to be able to play one of them, and he can't taunt this Molten Giant. So actually, the Molten Giant, if he plays it, is there any way for him to Defender of Argus here? The only thing he can Defender of Argus the Sun Fury Protector and maybe even a BGH, but that would be the only thing that even remotely keeps him alive at this point. And in fact, if he were to do that, both minions would die. He would have two. He would probably stay. He would stay alive if he were to do that, but it doesn't feel like a very efficient play as the handlog player at all.
Well, Thijs still has the chance to draw one of the Savage Roars, but still he has 13 points of damage on board. My settings will kill off the Shade of Nexramas with his Sun Fury Protector for sure.
That's interesting. Well, he's going to Shadow Flame, okay, but that doesn't kill the Ancient of Lore.
Yep, he still will be in range of the combo. Well, it's turn 8, so unless there's a Innervate, you can't really count on that. So we know that there's an Innervate and half of the part of the combo, but still no Savage Roar.
But with Swipe, that's lethal.
6, yeah, that's lethal.
Yeah, so you can Innervate out. You can play the combo,
Yeah.
Innervate out Swipe with the 5 attack from the Ancient of Lore, and that is lethal. So that's going to be game number 2, going over to Thijs, leveling it up after disconnecting from the last game, unfortunately.
So 1-1 between Thijs and my settings, and this is a way to make a comeback now with Druid. What are the other classes for my settings?
My settings has Warrior and Shaman.
Warrior and Shaman. So Shaman probably will get down here just to counter the Druid.
Shaman has always been a very strong counter for Druid. Not sure about the current archetypes of Shaman or the sort of Shaman decks that people are bringing to tournaments, but we're going to see that probably against the Druid. But Druid, a very, very strong class. We've talked about it all week. Druid is a class that can win you any matchup.
That's very true. But still, Shaman is one of the worst matchup for Druid. So Shaman right now will be a really... But I'm sure that he's aware of that and will pick the Shaman right now. Just because Warrior is such a bad matchup. I mean, Druid is such a bad matchup for the Warrior.
But I guess if you're keeping the Warrior, do you want to run the Warrior mirror match rather than Shaman into Warrior? Is that probably a better matchup?
Well,
for my
Shaman
settings
has
if
a
it came down to
great
it?
Shaman has a great matchup against both of those classes, against Druid and the Warrior. Well, at least in theory. So I think you want to use the Shaman first. Because if you lose with the Shaman against the Druid, then you have to go against Warrior against Druid. I think Shaman is big here.
So we will see how the lineups pan out here. We're just going to get into this game. In fact, there we are. It is the Warrior of my not listening to you. I guess when you're his opponent's team captain, maybe he doesn't want to listen to your advice, Lothar. But what are you gonna do? But it's gonna be the control Warrior.
Maybe he has some kind of tax against Druids, but not very sure. Do we have again a problem with Thijs connection?
It looks like we're having a little bit of connection issues. We can't quite see the webcam of Thijs on our view, but it looks maybe having some internet issues where Thijs is.
I don't know, I think it's okay. His camera is working, right? Oh no.
Okay, well, it is Tice's turn here in turn 1. He hasn't done anything yet, which suggests he may. He has roped out on turn 1, so it looks like we may have another connection issue with Tice. We do apologize for this. We're going to try and get that sorted as soon as possible. Obviously, this is a hazard of the game here in online tournaments, and obviously, for logical reasons, a disconnect in an online tournament does generally mean a forfeit. If we can get ties back into that game, obviously that game hadn't really started. If we're able to get ties back, we will, I believe, probably restart that game with the Druid versus the Control Warrior. Yep. So we will if we can get ties back, we will restart game 3 because the game hadn't started really. They hadn't had a chance to play anything. So, but it is. Oh, my camera's away down there. My camera is moving around now. So that's the production staff amusing themselves while we get the technical issues sorted. But we're going to try and get ties back. We're going to take a very quick break, and we will restart that with the Druid of Ties against the Warrior of My Settings. We won't obviously let them change the picks. They will just go back into the same matchup. So we're going to take a very quick break, and we'll get that sorted. Hopefully resolved for the final time. I am very sorry, but about Tice's internet. I wish we could, but we can't. But we'll be back with you as soon as we can, bringing you game 3 of Ties versus My Settings. Okay, guys. So we've spoken to Tice, and it appears that Tice is currently under a DDoS attack, which is a really shitty thing that time to time to prominent players. Unfortunately, there's nothing we can do about it. If we bring Ties back on stream, he's going to be attacked again, and he's going to lose his game. So the most important thing, from as far as the tournament is concerned, is Ties being able to complete his games. If Ties comes back on stream and keeps getting disconnected, he's going to have to forfeit the game. He's going to lose that. So unfortunately, we're not going to be able to bring you the conclusion of Ties versus My Settings at this point. We're going to try and go into as quickly as possible our next game, Hyped versus Wava. We've just reached out to them to try and come on stream early. So we're going to go back into a break very soon, and we'll try and get that game together for you as soon as possible. But Lothar, obviously, it's very unfortunate. It does happen in tournaments from time to time.
Yeah, players will have to start protecting themselves from that kind of attacks. So this is something that all the pro players will want to do in the future. And yeah, we as a team will have to protect ourselves from that DDoS attacks, which are really annoying. And I know that many players are being attacked. Like Forsen has had a really massive attack some time ago.
Yeah, and even Masan was suffering from DDoS attacks on his stream in the last couple of days. So Tyson My Settings are going to play the rest of their games off stream, unfortunately. Obviously, we do really want to bring you guys great games in the tournament, and we are really excited to be casting these games for you. But ultimately, being able to play the tournament matches is bringing them on stream. So we're going to be bringing those. Tyson is going to be able to finish his games. He's not going to be a forfeit loss for him. He's going to get games, and we'll bring the score to you as soon as we can. But we're going to take a very short break while we get Hype versus Wava queued up for you. Hyped, another guy who had a very successful day yesterday, going 6-1. So it'll be interesting to see if he can break the streak here and see a favorite come out on top. Don't go anywhere. We'll be back with Hyped versus Wava.